Coming to you live, it is the Believe in the Southside Boys. I am Steve-O. You can find me on Twitter at @BaseByFan. No, I'm kidding. You can find me on Twitter at DrunkShySoxFan. And joining me, the one, the only.
Carrie, what's going on? It's your boy. You can find me on Twitter at @ThatBaseballFan, BaseByFan, whatever you want to do, you'll find it. And Steve, we got a lot to talk about today. As always, nice to get on with you. First time I don't think we've had a guest in a few weeks here, so excited to just have some baseball talk with you. So I'll let you.
Absolutely, baby. Absolutely. It's great to be back in the booth just with you. The online booth powered by StreamYard. For those of you that don't know who we are, obviously we're the Believe in Southside Boys. You can find us you can find us anywhere you listen to your podcast. That's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, Google Casts, whatever the heck you listen to your podcast. We're there. And we're live on YouTube with every single episode. Usually the comment section is live AF. I don't know if it will be tonight considering we're doing a 9:00 show, Carrie. But I'm spreading the word, so maybe we can get a couple laughs going tonight. But first and foremost, it was fantastic to be with you this weekend, Carrie. We were live together in person, not doing an episode, but being degenerates.
Shit-faced, man.
And that's a big one for you because usually you're an herbal essences guy.
Well, I was on that shit too, so I was literally all over the place. And by the time I got home, I was like, I need to eat something and house something down. House some McDonald's down like a fat ass. And
I'm so fucking proud of you.
Did not throw up because I would have thrown up if I didn't eat that shit. And
seriously, that was the big difference between. So I went out the night before as well. We did a little bit of karaokeing. Myself, Adam from KC. What's up?
Karaoke, right?
Okay. Karaoke. You already know. And yes, unfortunately, we got our first comment here. There is no Gabe this week. It's just us. But yeah, we did a little karaoke. Me, myself, Adam, KC, recovering prof. It was and a couple of my friends from college, including
was there and
wait, who was there?
Bandit
didn't go to karaoke. Alex
sorry, you're talking about Friday. I'm stupid.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, no, I mean 108 day after that, or 107 day. I should say it was on Saturday. No, Jim, my hat, by the way, I'm already getting comments about the hat and how it's 50 degrees outside. I don't care. I need to cover this bald dome of mine.
You were bald.
Yep. So karaoke was amazing on Friday night. And then Saturday night was so much fun being with everybody. 108 day at Reggie's was an absolute blast. Shout out to the 108 guys for putting it together. And shout out to Beefwolf as well. He's in the comments here and he's commenting on the 108 hat that I'm wearing. Yes. Weekend brewery. There was no brewery for me. I know Prof and Adam went to Maplewood Brewery before we linked up on Friday night, but fucking amazing, fantastic weekend. Had so much to drink.
Too much to drink.
Yes. I should not have had an edible before going out on Saturday night. Actually, I probably should have. It helped me level everything out. I felt equilibrium by the end of the night. And I know you said you had a bunch of McDonald's. We ended up going to Howl at the Moon, which was by where Prof and Adam were staying. Mm-hmm. And it was fantastic because there was a New York style pizza place, like right across the way. I think it was Dough Brothers or something. Mm-hmm. Enormous New York pizza slices, right, Carrie?
Yeah.
I ate 4 of them in like the span of like 10 minutes.
If I looked at those, I would gain weight, and you eat like 4 and you lose 10 pounds probably.
I don't know about losing 10 pounds, but I definitely woke up and felt like a new man.
But I watched you at the restaurant house sliders and guacamole and all this other shit, and then you eat that, and I guarantee you lost weight somehow.
I'm gonna blame the edible on that one because everything I brought eyes to. Everything I put my eyes on that evening just looked delicious. Yeah. You could have put a shit sandwich in front of me. And yeah, exactly. I mean, perfect example here. Billy says, I almost came up with him and his wife because they had pizza. Billy actually offered our guy Billy Wires here and his wife were in town as well. I forgot to mention Billy and his wife. I'm such a dick.
By the way, wife, awesome. Way cooler than Billy. Too.
Way cooler than Billy. I'm glad she's on Twitter now. And now Billy has to get his act together somewhat.
Okay.
But anyway, I almost followed them up to their hotel room. Billy was like, "Yeah, come join us." And then literally we got to the elevator and everybody was walking into the elevator and Billy's wife goes, "Bye, Steve-O. Nice meeting you." that was my parting. So, yeah, just great stories just all around from that weekend. So, I'm so glad that everybody was there, and those of you that weren't there, like Senor here, who's asking me where I fit all my food. It's the pre-dad weight. It's the pre-30 weight. That's what I'm gonna say. On Nugenics. Maybe it's the Nugenics, Carrie.
Yeah, I mean, got to take that now that I'm 30. So just, get used to it, Steve.
Absolutely.
That night was just a really fun night. I mean, the panel was fun watching Lawrence, and then as always, Herb is the fucking man. And then obviously the 108 guys too. So it was a good time. I blacked out probably midway through,
Yep.
and then that was it. And I still have the jizz rag that 108 gave us. And I think Beef even tweeted about the jizz rag too. So I actually found it in my coat pocket and I was like, oh.
That's good. I lost mine, unfortunately.
I'm not surprised.
I was anywhere and everywhere that night. I swear, if I didn't have a conversation with you that night, I either did not see you or I hate you completely. That's just kind of the bottom line right there. Right. So yes, Beeflo's asking you to just come in the cum rag right now, Gary.
I mean, like I told you before this, Steve, my fiance's out for the next 6 days in New York. I'm not even wearing pants right now, so
we all know what Carrie's doing after the show, ladies and gentlemen. So,
yeah.
Well, Carrie, although we like to, dick around here on the Believe in the South Side show, we also like to talk a little White Sox baseball. And, the White Sox are going to White Sox. There's a reason why this episode is named New Year, Same Sox. The most recent signing, Hanser Alberto. Carrie, what are your thoughts?
I don't know why you're making a big deal about this. Like I said before this, we were arguing right before we got on. It's a minor league deal. He's not going to – he is there if, one of the rookie – if they don't get a second baseman, he's there if Sosa or, Romy get hurt who are going to also make the roster, right? It's nothing. Hanser about he's shit. It's just a depth move, and it's fine, but I don't know. You said he's going to make the roster. I was surprised by that.
What if I told you Hanser Alberto is going to make the White Sox roster?
And did you say he was going to be the starting second baseman?
No, I did not say starting second baseman. Chill your tits on that one, all right?
Yeah.
No, and I agree here. The fact that they're going out and getting Hanser Alberto, but they still need another pitcher is a whole nother discussion. I'll be honest with you. Other than Leury Garcia, who else do the White Sox have as a bench infielder?
Well, like I was saying, if they don't go out and get a second baseman, right? If they do go get a second baseman, right, it's going to be probably Romy, right, and Leary that are going to man the infield. Mm-hmm. If not, you're looking at Romy probably starting or Sosa, whoever wins the job. And then you are probably stuck with Hanser Alberto probably being your 26th man, which is bad because that means Garcia gets moved down too, so it just sucks.
Yeah, and I'm seeing, obviously our guy Billy Wires here cracking up at us and saying Ray Durham. And our guy Stokes, good to see Stokes in the chat. He was the hero of the day at 108 Day too, saving one of our friends who may have imbibed a little bit too much. That being said, you've got Romy Gonzalez. You've got who else do we say? Lenin Sosa.
Yeah.
The communist that is Lenin Sosa. And
we need this guy back.
yeah, exactly. Right. Literally, if Nicky Two Strikes was a Chicago White Sox, was in this organization, he would be starting every day, obviously. Which just makes that Kimbrel trade look worse and worse. But if you give me the choice between Romy, Lenny Sosa, and Hanser Alberto, I might be going with Hanser Alberto.
What the fuck?
I mean, that's how bad this situation is.
I mean, I'm looking at Hanser Alberto. I mean, he was literally he pretty much is a typical White Sox player because his WAR is 0.0. He is average. He's like replacement level. Like that's who he is. So it makes sense. But I'd rather have Romy or Sosa because there's more upside, maybe because Hanser's 30 years old, like you said. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he is 30 fucking years old, right? I mean, we're talking about a guy who, if he does make the roster, is obviously a bench piece. I mean, there's these talks about trades for second base, Carrie. Whether it be Crochet, and at this point, I don't think it's going to be Liam with the news. But
No.
if you could send Garrett Crochet for Gleyber Torres, 1-for-1, did you do that?
Well, first off, since I'm very close friends with Garrett Crochet because I met him at Jenny's Ice Cream.
That's right.
After a Sox game, I would drive his fucking ass so fast to O'Hare and get Gleyber Torres. That guy would immediately, one, have the most home runs on the White Sox last year, but have like the highest WAR or second highest WAR out of anybody. I think he was at like 4.1 or something like that. B WAR. I mean, yes, I would do that in a fucking heartbeat.
Yeah, I think that would definitely be a trade that I would do as well because you don't know. Here's the thing. You know the impact that Gleyber Torres is most likely going to give you, whether it be his basement or his ceiling, right? His floor or his ceiling. I'm not even going floor. I'm going basement. His basement or his ceiling, you know what you're going to get. Yeah. Whereas Garrett Crochet, you have no fucking idea what you're going to get out of Garrett Crochet.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, the Yankees are a team that love lefty pitching, you know, when they can get their hands on it. Mm-hmm. So even if he is a reliever to start out with, just because he's coming off Tommy John, and I love when people are like, they're going to stretch him out and make him a starter of the White Sox. No, they're fucking not. They can't, you know? Yes, I would absolutely, because Sal, I would give him a handy because when I met him, he's so goddamn tall.
You're at the perfect height.
His schlong is right at arm height, so I can just.
You don't have to reach down at all.
100%. I mean, I asked
reach up probably.
I asked him at Jenny's, but we probably would have both went to jail. So next time I told him. So
Billy says you'd need a step stool to do it. So and it's
really, definitely horsecock.
So Garrett Crochet or Oscar Colas?
What are you saying?
I mean, larger. I mean, look at what's below in the comment section here. Larger.
I mean, I would probably Garrett Crochet.
Ooh, hot take. Hot take. Also, it's good to see our former guest here from the last show, Gabe, in the comments. That's fucking fantastic. I'm so glad that he's here. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you probably do it in a heartbeat, right? When it comes to if it's Garrett Crochet or Gleyber Torres. I don't know if it's realistic though. Exactly. Because the Yankees want to build. I mean, the Yankees are definitely built for content now, whereas White Sox are supposed to be built for content now. But yeah, exactly.
I went out the last year when you finished 81 and 81, and nobody even hit. I don't think anybody hit 20 home runs, right? I don't think anybody did.
No, not a single player hit 20 home runs.
They're just hoping for coaching staff changes, and that's gonna fuel players. And Rick Hahn even said it. They're hoping everybody has a rebound year because they're pissed. It's like what Beefloaf always puts up to, like the White Sox way. Just stay healthy, and they'll probably win the division, you know. But when have they ever done that either? You know.
Right. Absolutely.
That's why we're talking about Hanser Alberto.
Hanser Alberto, baby. Exactly. So
9 o'clock at night, you know, like.
And that's a perfect segue right there, Carrie. So realistically, the trade's probably not getting done for a second baseman. Gene Segura is now off the market, more or less, right?
It's going to happen. I think they're going to still get a second baseman.
You think the White Sox are going to get a second baseman? Who do you
Yeah.
think it's going to be then?
It's not going to be anybody like amazing, like that's out the window. It's not going to.
So Mike Moustakas.
It's gonna. It. That's where we're gonna go. I mean, I would rather that than the options. No, I probably wouldn't. I don't even know. I don't think it's gonna be that bad. I think it's gonna be mid tier. Like it's gonna be nobody great, nobody bad. It might be like when they got Cesar Hernandez. I'm not saying him, but I'm saying kind of a guy like that who you're like, cool. He'll help a little bit. Like I don't think they're going to go in with Romy Gonzalez starting at second.
I mean, I would hope not. For a team that wants to be in the playoffs next year, I would pray to God that you're not shrouding out Romy Gonzalez or Lenin Sosa. But that's so White Sox. I mean, that's just on brand. Like, you have one guy who you're praying is just going to absolutely catch fire because they showed some life in Double-A or Triple-A. And I would honestly, yes, I'm glad that you popped this comment up, Carrie, from our guy Sean Janko. Would rather have Josh Harrison back at the point. Literally, that's the beauty in the way that the Benintendi contract is structured. It's backloaded, right? You're not paying Benintendi as much in year one. So you go and take that money that you would owe Benintendi in year one, and you go sign Josh Harrison to a 1-year deal.
You'd think that's logical, but I don't know. I would be totally fine with Josh Harrison. I mean, just a guy like that. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be a world beater, just get somebody there because there's so much more uncertainty. And like if Oscar Colas has been playing for 2 years and hitting 20 to 25 home runs a year and playing good defense, and we know who he was, I'd be fine with, having Romy start at second. Right? But we don't know who Oscar Colas is. He could fall flat on his fucking face.
He's a rookie. Like, it's his first year in the MLB. He's going to have a learning curve.
Exactly. And he's older and he's been playing against, he's like Stenson Bennett, he's a 24-year-old playing against 19-year-olds.
Doesn't mean he's going to be good in the NFL.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
It's a perfect example.
Yeah. And like that's what I'm getting at is like, you don't know what Oscar's going to do. I think he's going to be okay. Right. I think he's going to hit bombs. I think he's going to be a home run strikeout guy, and that's okay. And I think he'll play good defense, but like, we don't fucking know. We've seen guys like Luis Robert fall on their face that second half of his rookie season. Like Eloy Jimenez struggled. These guys were highly rated prospects compared to Oscar Colas, so
yeah.
That's why I'm not comfortable with a Romy or a Sosa starting at second right away.
For sure. And our guy Senor Sox here in the chat is saying Sosa and Gonzalez could, and here's the key word, could turn into something, give them a shot. I like giving them a shot. I don't like giving them a shot, number one, as a starter. Like, make them prove it in a non-regular day basis, right? Because that's how a lot of these guys come up. It's how a lot of these guys prove themselves. Is you give them a smaller sample size. If they can prove themselves, stretch them out a little bit longer. If you're in a contention window like this team claims they are, you can't depend on these guys for everyday production. And if they do give it to you, then fuck yeah. I mean, think about Jeremy Pena for the Astros, right?
Let's not compare him to Romy Gonzalez, though.
I'm not going to go there. I mean, we're talking about two guys that are low down on a prospect list compared to a guy that was a top 100 prospect. But, I mean, but sometimes you catch fire with these guys, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even think about, like, the earlier Astro years, and this is a guy who's kind of fallen off the face of the planet, but Jose Suri. Like, I mean, that was a guy who showed up for a hot second and was trying to make an impact on a playoff team late in a push. And this is why I joked too about Mike Moustakas, is because that's a Kenny kind of guy. Same with Robinson Cano that Senor mentioned in the stats. That would be fucking hilarious.
Well, and to answer Senor right here, if they prove it as a starter, then what? Then you have a good problem. You have a good problem. You can get rid of fucking Hanser Alberto and Leary Garcia and DFA Leary or then you put the guy you signed like a Josh Harrison on a 1-year deal or someone like that, or a trade, on that 1-year deal. You put them on the bench if they're not performing, because then you just have a good problem at that point. So that would be my answer to that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's always good to have. Here's the thing. Have the White Sox ever had the problem where it's like, okay, we have 12 guys that are producing on offense? No. So like that'd be fucking fantastic to have. Yes. I mean, that's one way to look at a good problem. Thank you, Billy, for your comments in the chat. I'm not even going to voice that. I want to answer a non-White Sox question that's in the
Mhm.
chat right now. Words are hard right now. I started pounding wine as soon as I got home. Be full fast. Who is more likely to be made, Mike Tirico or Andrew Benintendi?
Mike Tirico, like the NBC reporter.
Yes.
Mike Tirico. Oh, I mean, I gotta go him. I like the guy's a fucking. I love Mike Tirico.
Yeah, I
His
do too. I miss him
his
on the Notre Dame
voice
broadcast.
just soothes my. It soothes my ears. So yeah,
Yeah, no, I agree. Mike Tirico still is a god
yeah.
announcing, and I miss him on Notre Dame games.
Speaking of
Just
announcing, I was talking to Alex Root about this. Why
yeah.
does Joe Buck get hate? Why? Why?
Oh, why does Joe Buck get hate?
Yeah,
Joe, do you want the comparison?
yeah.
Joe Buck is the Tom Brady of announcing games.
And what's wrong with that?
I, all he does is win, baby. All he does is win. All he does is
It's
get the
the
big
same.
games,
Yes.
and people are tired of hearing him in those big games. That's all it is. It's just people wanting something new, wanting
Was he the
something new
one?
and flashy.
Was he the one that called the '05 World Series, like the last call? Was that Joe Buck?
Joe Buck and Tim McCarver
That's
were the
right.
announcers for the '05 World Series.
Right.
So, exactly. You want to know Chicken Benintendies? Carrie, do you want to address that one?
I don't. I sure it'd be a good marketing strategy. Just do it, but they'd have to be like Parmesan. They'd have to be like Italian like style, right? Or is that
Yeah, like a little marinade, like a little. Oh, hold on, like a little, like a Parmesan mozzarella mix on top of the tendies with some marinara. Is that what it is? Yeah,
yeah?
Joe Buck he does have some nepotism
Oh,
going
of
on. A little
course.
nepotiz, as they say.
Yeah.
So
100%.
exactly. And he's not a bad and no, there's so many bad announcers, and he might not be the best of all time. I'm not saying that, but
Hmm.
he's pretty fucking good. There's a reason why he keeps getting asked back.
Yeah.
And as much as people shit on Kirk Herbstreit, I kind of feel the same way.
I can care less about college football unless like Notre Dame's losing.
Of course. Even though your favorite teams are Alabama
Alabama,
and Ohio State.
my favorite college. You guys hate on me all you want because I can care less about college, but if it's not SIU, go Dogs. It's Alabama and Ohio State for football and Duke in basketball. So.
You are literally the worst. You are absolutely the worst for that.
I care less.
And how you're a White Sox fan and all of that is just absolutely hilarious.
Because I have to have something. I'm like, well, fuck. I'm a Bears fan, White Sox fan. Who's Carrie's favorite? Oh, Scott. Even though he's blocked me twice and unblocked me twice.
Chuck Garfien.
Steve
Steve
Stone.
Stone. Steve Stone's Jewish?
Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know why that's an obvious thing.
Oh, that's right. You wouldn't know, but he always misses for the holidays. He always misses on like Passover and shit in April and stuff like that, or whenever it is. Yeah, but no, he's definitely he's one of us, Senor. Why would I own a Yankee hat? I don't understand that.
I don't know why you'd own a Yankee hat either. Maybe it's because of that joke we were saying earlier, actually.
Oh yeah,
before we got in the air. Hawk Harrelson greater than Jason Benetti. Are you going to take this slander that's in the comments from our guy Gabe?
I'm not going to get into it, Gabe. I'm scared of Gabe. He's.
I mean, he's going to beat me in a race on opening day. So
I can see.
It's already set in stone. He's the favorite.
See, even fucking Gabe knew it too. Gabe's one of us.
I know. I'm an idiot apparently for not knowing it. So
Sal, I like Tom Brady. No, I'm just gonna say it. I love Tom Brady.
I don't mind it either. Why am I getting dragged in the comments? What did I say that was wrong? So was it the Steve Stone thing? What? I'm trying so hard to get blocked by Steve Stone, and he will not block me.
I know. I'd love that he won't block you.
It's so funny. I just go at him like every once in a while, and he still will not budge, even if I post his Playgirl magazine pictures.
The joke was Steven asked where Jews cultivate, and I told him New York, LA, and Chicago.
The big cities.
It's where we grow out of like the ground.
City folk. Just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I blame the Illuminati. No, I'm kidding. It's so ridiculous. I'm apparently the last person to ask Jewish trivia questions. So
that's true.
I had a couple other things on the agenda, Carrie, but you know what? As the comments are kind of rolling in, I want to see if there's any questions from the audience. But while we're waiting on questions for the audience, Carrie, I gotta ask. Opening day starting lineup. Who are you throwing at what positions?
For the White Sox?
Yeah.
Well, Dylan Cease is starting opening day. No fucking doubt, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Grandal at catcher. Okay,
Yep.
I'll start. Do you want me to go down the lineup or just what the field?
No, keep going that. You got 1, 2. Now go 3.
Now your catcher, your first baseman's going to be AV. Tall man Andrew Vaughn, Beefloaf. That's right. Let's not shame small people. We can do things too. Okay.
All 5'8" of them, and the Gordon Beckham comparison. Come on, I'm sorry. I know I got a bone to pick is a Sons of Honarchy segment, but for real, Andrew Vaughn comparisons to Gordon Beckham, fuck out of here.
I was a Gordon Beckham guy, just like I'm a Nick Madrigal guy. Unfortunately, like I just like shitty players. I don't see it with Andrew Vaughn as Gordon Beckham. I don't think Andrew Vaughn's the 40 home run hitter that was hyped up to be, but I think he's going to be better this year at his natural position.
5'9", apparently.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I don't.
All right, second base. Let's not get too off track here.
Second base. I don't even fucking know, man. We'll go with Romy Gonzalez for now, and then TA, and then you got Yo, and then outfield is going to be Benintendi, Luis. I don't know who's going to be starting it right. I don't know if I think they're going to manipulate Oscar Colas.
I do too, which means
Jake Marisnik might be your right fielder if he makes the team, and then Eloy's your outfielder. So
you mean your DH
or Gavin Sheets? Sorry,
I was going to say Gavin Sheets isn't right, and Eloy's in DH.
Yeah.
All of that I agree with, except for Hanser Alberto is going to be starting at second base to start the year.
So now you are
saying hot take. Oh, he's going to start the year. I'm promising you that. Unless they re-sign Josh Harrison, I pray to God they do. All right, some questions came in. I don't know if this is for me or you, Carrie. Is it bigger than a baby's arm? If we're talking about Oscar Colas, then yes.
I think Luis Roberts got, like, if we're talking who's got a baby arm on the White Sox, maybe, I think Luis Roberts.
Oh, boy.
Eloy. Yeah. See, Eloy's a little bit like chubbier, and I think Luis Roberts got like,
big baby
dick,
Fair enough.
Doesn't make sense. It's the size of a baby,
Fair. So. I got asked if the carpet matches the drapes. Is it this carpet or this carpet? I'm not a baby, if that's the question. This next one from our guy Sal. FMK, Soxwood, Billy Wires, Beer Garden Gym.
This is hard.
This is easy.
Oh, I'll let you go first then.
Oh, easy. I am. So FMK is fuck, marry, kill for those that don't know. I am fucking Soxwood. Absolutely. And
that's what I was going to say.
Beautiful self. I am marrying Billy Wires and I am killing the fuck out of Jim. Fuck you, Jim.
Wow.
Sorry, Jim.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let that.
You're bowing out of this one, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna bow out.
Oh wow, you're too kind. You're too kind. Jim's gonna be so mad at me. Vaughn becoming like Konerko? You like that?
Not gonna fucking happen.
Better or worse?
Worse.
Ooh, easily.
Konerko hit 40. I mean, I know he's like the White Sox folk hero, but like still hit 40, some 35.
He's going to be better defensively than Konerko. I can guarantee that.
That's not hard, Steve. That's like saying I'm going to have like better hair than you. Like I already know that.
Yeah, fair enough. I think he's going to be really solid. offensively. I think people are really underrating him. The fact that he got compared to Gordon Beckham this week is just fucking ridiculous.
I see why he made that comparison though, because of what he said. It's like they're both very, very hyped up college players that we took in the first round, right? That's the only comparison I see, but they're just different games, you know. I mean, Andrew Vaughn's
very different games.
clearly got more power than Gordon Beckham had, like coming out of college. So
yeah. I'm not even gonna look up the statistics because I know like. Here's the thing: is like Gordon Beckham like started off really hot. Like people were like, "Holy shit!" Like Gordon Beckham might be something, and then he tailed off. Whereas literally Andrew Vaughn was a below league average hitter his first year in the league, which is fine because he didn't even get past
single
IA ball.
Yeah.
And now, year 2, he's an above league average hitter. And he had to worry about playing in fucking right field, a position that he never played in the minors.
Yeah.
I don't think he played in since his like freshman year of college. So yeah. The comparison is that they're both rushed to majors. That's true, but I mean, they're so fucking different. Gordon Bacon. What the fuck is Gordon Bacon? Like Kevin Bacon, but
no, he's saying Senor. This is second language to him, so that's why he's saying it.
Oh my god. Oh, on that note, we need to wrap this shit up because we're at a half hour. So, final thoughts, Carrie, as we,
I would say, if the White Sox have someone like you talking about Hanser Alberto as the starting second baseman, they've already got you where they want you. They got you.
I already told you it's so White Sox. I mean, yes, I wanted them to trade for somebody or.
The fact that we're talking about Senor.
I know. I can't even. I'm glad you're popping that up. I wasn't going to press that.
I love the shit talk. I mean, I love that guy. But whenever, you're talking about these shitty ass players, that's how you know the White Sox have us by this.
Yep. By the cojones. By the huevos.
We talk about them, and we just are talking about shit players because that's just, it sucks.
Wrapped around the frickin' finger. Absolutely. So it's just absolutely insane. But that being said, I just don't have faith yet in Romy or Lenyn Sosa. So that's why my prediction is Hanser Alberto, and I'm praying he becomes the next Josh Harrison, or they just go re-sign Josh Harrison, which is what they should have done. Yes. And they still can do. So go fucking do it, Rick Hahn.
He is a free agent, right? Like I saw that he was like signed, but he wasn't signed. So I don't know.
Exactly.
I would do it.
So on that note, thank you to those of you that showed up in the live comments. It was fucking fantastic. We got off to a slow start, but I'm really happy that people showed up. We really appreciate you. Don't forget that we are on YouTube live every single episode, and this is where it's at. Even if you listen to us later on the podcast waves, we appreciate you, but come join us live. It's a good time. Have a good night, everybody. Peace out, and we will see y'all next week.